Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody is doing well. Today is a little bit of an experiment. I had a diamond painting and I set it up. I removed the cover, set it up with release papers, everything seemed fine. Then I opened up the first section, started to place drills, and found out that the glue wasn't really holding the drills. So as I touched the drills, they were all moving about, and I thought, okay, this is the first time this has happened to me. So I thought I would try and see if I can fix it using baby wipes. Okay, so this is the setup. Normally the release paper would be underneath these placemats, and I've just placed this one over the top, and it does stick to the glue. So I'm going to take it off, and this is the section that I'm going to start on. This is the bottom right hand corner of the diamond painting. Normally I would start in the very corner. I would just look at that symbol and I would do any of that symbol in this area, but I thought this time I'm looking at it and there are a lot of B symbols. So on the key, the B symbol is 310. So I thought what I would do just now is, I haven't wiped it with a baby wipe or anything, this is just as it was. I'll place some drills and let you see what the problem is. Then I'm going to take the drills back off. I'm going to wipe the glue with a baby wipe, let it dry, and then try again. So the first thing I want to do is put the light pad on. It just makes it easier to see the symbols. So here are the drills I have prepared earlier. So as I said, 310 black. So in this case the symbol is B. All I'm going to do is look for the main area. So I'm going to start in the bottom. So I'll place one drill, and I'll just do it the way that I normally would. So I normally do a checkerboard, and when I'm just starting, if it is more than one drill high, I do a zigzag as I go across. So everything looks okay. The drills are going down, they're sitting where they should be. I'll just do a little bit more. Now, as I said, I had started this one and I was placing the drills, this symbol, and that was fine because it was just like random sort of single drills. But then when I came to do these twos, when I put a drill down and it touched the one next to it, it knocked it off. Now, that has never happened to me before. So that means that the glue is not as sticky as it should be, because once you put the drills down, they should stay where they go. So I'm just going to do a little checkerboard. So this is the way that I would work. I would just build up a checkerboard in an area where I have all the same colour. But as I said, normally I would start in the very corner and I would just pick that symbol and I would look for all of them in this area and just put them all down. Then I would go to the next symbol, and that's just the way that I work. Some people might do this, they'll look for the most of any colour in the area and they'll do that first. It's really up to you how you work. But anyway, set up a little checkerboard. Now I'm going to touch the drills. Now I hardly touched that in that one. Now normally the drills would stick and it would take a little bit of effort to move those drills, but they are very loose, as you can see. I should not be able to do that. Not as easily as that. I mean, it's barely, I wouldn't even say they were sticking really. So I'm going to take them all off, put them back. As you can see, I'm using tweezers. I now use tweezers for round and square. I don't use a pen now because I've got so used to using the tweezers, and I definitely prefer them. But so that's it. I've taken the drills back off. Now the reason that I'm thinking about using the baby wipes is about 2 years ago, my wife and I were sitting here. She was working on her table, I was working on mine. It was in the summertime. We had the window open, and my wife had the key, her paper key, sitting beside the diamond painting, wasn't anywhere near the glue, and a gust of wind blew in the window, flipped the A4 paper over, and it landed on the glue. And it was total panic, because when she tried to pull the paper off, it stuck to the glue, and as she pulled it, it all just started to rip, and we didn't know how to get the paper off, or if we could get the paper off. So I did some searches on YouTube, and I found out that baby wipes was the answer. So what you do is you gently rub the paper with the baby wipe. The alcohol in the baby wipe soaks the paper, and you can sort of gently scrape it off the glue. The alcohol causes the glue to lose its adhesiveness. We sort of panicked about that as well, because it was all new to us. We realised there was no stickiness. But once we left it for a few minutes and the alcohol evaporated off, the glue was as sticky as it was to start with. So I've got the baby wipes, Danish baby wipes. We have used 2 out of a pack of 95. So we kept them because we thought we never know when something's going to happen. So today I am going to use a baby wipe, and I'm going to wipe the glue. So it's really to see if this does work. I'm thinking I'll wipe it and cover it in the alcohol that's in the wipe, and then I'll let it dry and see if the glue is stickier than it was before. I mean, logically you would think, well, it's just going to be the same, but I thought no harm in trying it, because I can't use this kit. It would be absolutely pointless to sit and fill this whole picture in and then pick it up and the drills fall off. So I've covered it in alcohol. I'll give it a little wave, maybe that'll help to dry it a bit quicker. Can't remember how long it actually took to dry, but I'll give it a little test just now. So put 1 on, put 2 on. So that is moving just like it did before. I can feel a little bit of tackiness, but I'm not sure that it's totally evaporated off yet. Maybe a bit too quick. I'll just give it another try. I mean, as I said in the beginning, this is purely it's a bit stickier than it was. It's purely an experiment. I was just curious to see if the baby wipes could make the glue stickier. It might not, but then I know it doesn't work. Then I'll probably do a future video with an alternative to get your stickiness back on the glue. I've already got some ideas, but I'm going to give this a little bit of time. As I said, logically all that's going to happen is it just becomes as unsticky as it was in the first place. Why would it be any stickier? But I just thought, we've got the baby wipes, I'll give it a try. I mean, it's maybe slightly stickier, but it's still far too easy to pick these drills off. So I'll just give it a little bit more time. try and wave it again. See if that, I don't know if it even helps, but at least I'm doing something. But this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I think this is something like the 56th diamond painting I've done. I've never had this problem before. This is a kit that I got from GBFKE. I did an unboxing of it. I will put a link to the unboxing. I didn't expect any problem. As I said, when I put the release paper down, it seemed to stick. I never really thought about how well it stuck. But this still is not good enough. It would be a waste of time trying to do a diamond painting like this, because again, I'll put some down, I'll make a little checkerboard. This is always the way that I work, doing checkerboard wherever I can. The reasoning behind that is what you're doing is you're placing every second drill, and then you get this checkerboard pattern. And when you go back, all you have to do is fill the spaces in. So you're not having to concentrate on getting things lined up with every drill. You concentrate a bit more on the checkerboard, you try and get them as well placed as possible. And then once you've done it, I mean, I would do all of the B's, so it would be a pretty big checkerboard pattern. And once that was done, I would just go back and fill the spaces, which is a lot quicker because you're not having to really think about the placement. It's basically going in space and that's it. If your drills in the original pass are a little bit squint, when you push the square in the gap, it will straighten them up. I've been doing this since I started diamond painting, so it's become a habit. I don't even think about it. I automatically do the checkerboard. I even do it if I've got 3 drills in a row. I'll put in either the end one, then the end one, then the middle, or I'll put the middle, the end one, the end one, even with 3. I mean, I know most people probably wouldn't, but it's just become a habit. It's just, I do it without thinking. When I'm diamond painting, normally I am sitting with headphones on and I'm listening to music, and this is how I relax. A single place, and as I said, I now use tweezers all the time. I've started to use these ceramic tip tweezers, and I really like them. The tweezers that I used before that were these metal tipped ones, the stabby tweezers that some people call them, because they are extremely sharp. The ceramic ones aren't quite as sharp, they're more flattened at the end, so they're a bit wider, and personally I feel that the ceramic holds better on the drill than the metal. They are also, you have to squeeze a little bit more effort to squeeze them, but I find it means that you've got more control over just how much you squeeze them. And the trick is to learn how much to squeeze them, because if you're new to diamond painting and you try tweezers for the first time, I'm pretty much certain that what you'll find is the drills ping off the tweezers and shoot across the room, and that's because you're pressing them too hard. The trick is to learn how little you need to press, just enough to pick up the drill. You don't want the grip of death, because if you do that, they'll ping off. So it's just nice and gentle. So I built up a little checkerboard. So I'll go and fill it in. We'll see how this goes. Now I'm not really expecting it to work. I don't think the baby wipe has made the glue any stickier, which is disappointing. It would be nice if it did. It would be a nice easy fix to this problem if anybody has it. But There are other alternatives and I will try them. I'm going to use this particular diamond painting as a test piece to see if I can figure out a way to get the adhesion back in the glue for anybody who has this problem. You buy a kit and suddenly you find that it's not sticky or not sticky enough. When you place the drills, they should not move. Once you've placed them, you should be able to slide them, but if you just touch them, they shouldn't move out of the box. So you can see how I'm building up. And it's really easy. I mean, I'm not even really thinking about this as I'm doing it. I'm just putting the drills in the box. And the way that I do it with the tweezers is I drop the drill and then I hold the tweezers together and I just tap it down in. So you don't try and put it in all the way down with the tweezers because there's no space for the tip or the tips. So you're just dropping it down and then you hold it, press the tweezers together, push the drill in, and that's it. So that is with the light on. The gaps actually aren't bad, but it's always better to have gaps than no gaps. If you have no gaps, the drills tend to push against each other and start to pop, which is really annoying. If you've got a little gap, it doesn't matter. You're never going to see that gap. You have to remember I've got a light on behind it. The drills are only 2.5 millimeters across, and these gaps are an absolute fraction of 2.5 millimeters. So from a normal viewing distance, you will never ever see the gaps. So I think I've done enough. Realistically, I think I'm just going to end up picking these all back off again because I don't think they're going to stick enough. So if I turn the light pad off, the gaps disappear. I'll turn it back on again. Now the moment of truth, I'll try and move the drills. That one is moving too easy, too easy, too easy, too easy, too easy. So that did not work. I have read about people using the baby wipes and it worked. In this case it didn't. So you can see the drills should not be able to just flick off like that. It would be a total waste of time to do this diamond painting and place thousands of drills because the slightest movement they're going to fall off. I mean, it's just not going to work. So I was really hoping that this was going to work, but obviously it didn't. So now I just have to pick all the drills back off again because I'm going to try this again using an alternative method, but that will be a future video. So good practice with tweezers if nothing else. But I just thought I would do this video, as I said, an experiment and let people see what happens. So in this case anyway, the baby wipes did not work. They didn't make the glue any stickier. As I said initially, when you wipe the glue, it loses its stickiness, and that's how you can get the paper off if you accidentally stick paper on it. I do have a video where I show that. I deliberately put a piece of A4 paper on glue and then wiped it with the baby wipe and showed how easy it was to get the paper off. And then once the liquid from the baby wipe dries off, the adhesion comes back in the glue and it's as good as new. And that's what's happened here. The stickiness has come back to exactly the level it was before. It's not any better, which makes sense. I mean, why would it be stickier than it was? I think the baby wipes might work if you have had a diamond painting with glue that is sticky enough. and you've, for whatever reason, left it exposed and the glue has sort of dried out a bit, if you wet it, I think that would take it back to how sticky it was to start with. So if initially the glue was okay and then suddenly you've forgot about it and it's lost its stickiness, if you use baby wipes, I'm pretty confident it would bring it back. But if in this case you get a diamond painting where the glue from the offset is not sticky enough to hold the drills, the baby wipes aren't going to help. It's basically the glue that's the problem. I did contact GBFKE and I told them about the problem. I told them I was going to do a video about this, and I asked them, or offered, that they could send me another diamond painting, the same one, just to prove it was just down to this kit, but they haven't replied, so that's just how it is. I have done other kits from GBFKE and never had a problem. As I've said, this is the only kit so far where I've had this problem. But in summary, if your glue is not sticky enough to start with, from this anyway, using the baby wipes isn't going to make it any more sticky than it was to start with. So I think it's a manufacturing problem. The glue is just not sticky enough to hold the drills, so we're going to have to look at another alternative, which I will do in the future. So if you're interested to see what I'm going to try next and if it works, please subscribe and hit the notification button, and you will get a little notification when I try the second project. It will be a little while because I still have to buy the product that I've got my eye on, but it'll be interesting. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm not going to bin it because they don't stick. I'm going to figure out how to get it to work. So that was something a little bit different. So all I can conclude from that is that the baby wipes will take the stickiness back to what it was originally. As I said, I have read about people using the baby wipes to get the stickiness to come back, but I think that is more in a case where they've been working on a diamond painting and they've forgot to cover it up and the glue has started to dry out. They used the baby wipe and it brought it back to its original stickiness. If your glue is not originally sticky enough, going by what I just did, it won't make the glue any stickier than it originally was, which makes total sense. So I think in this case it's a manufacturing issue. As I said, I got in touch with GBFKE. I told them I was going to be doing this. I asked them if they could send me another one of the same picture, so I could prove that this was just a one-off sort of thing. I mean, things go wrong with diamond paintings. It's just one of these things. But I've never ever had this. This is the very first time I've had a kit where the drills don't stick enough. They do stick, but I think if you even sneezed on it, they would move. So obviously to waste your time building up the picture, and I think even picking the canvas up and trying to hang it on the wall, I'm pretty sure drills are going to fall off. You could try sealing it, but the thing is, when you're doing the diamond painting, you are going to have to be extremely gentle with everything so that the drills next to each other don't move, and realistically that is just not going to happen, and it's just going to put you off, I would think. Far too much hassle. You should be able to put the drills down and they stay where you put them, and that's it. But with poured glue, you can slide them if you find that you've accidentally put it in the wrong square, you can slide it quite easily to the next place, but they won't fall off. These definitely would. They are barely sticking. So I thought I'd try the baby wipes. As I said, the first time, in fact the only time that we've tried the baby wipes was when a sheet of A4 paper was blown over by the wind, landed on the glue, and we searched, what do you do? Panic. I'm sure a lot of people have been in that situation. So we searched, and it seemed baby wipes kept coming up, baby wipes, and we thought, right, okay, I mean, there's nothing to lose. We tried it. The paper did come off, but then we realised there was no stickiness, and we thought, but after a few minutes, the stickiness came back, and it was as good as new. So if you accidentally stick paper, baby wipes, just wet the paper, you can gently scrape it off, and the glue will go back to as good as it was, and that worked absolutely perfectly. I did a video about it, and I have had people message me and people comment in below the video and saying that thanks for that, it worked. So it does work, but in those cases the glue was sticky. In this case it's not exactly sticky, so it was worth a try. So as I said, I'm going to try something else in a future video with the same picture. Hopefully I'm going to get it to work. So as I said, if you're interested in seeing what happens, please subscribe, hit the notification button. You will get a little message when any new videos come up. I do have a lot of stuff. I've got like diamond painting kits from various companies. I'm actually expecting one tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to, and I think it's going to jump to the top of the list. So it'll be coming very soon. I've got other accessories and various bits and pieces, all relating to diamond painting. So if you're interested, please subscribe. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.